Welcome back to another cooking adventure with Vic. I was just enjoying the aroma of these fresh herbs collected from our herb garden, and these are some of the major ingredients in today's adventure. One of the famous Italian dishes is called porchetta, and porchetta is basically an entire deboned pig that has been stuffed with herbs and spices, and it is then roasted on a spit on an open fire, creating a wonderful, tasty roast and a crunchy outer skin. It is truly a delicacy. Today's adventure, we are not going to cook an entire pig. We are simply going to cook a very small part of it. A fresh picnic roast. It's important to have a large amount of skin around the roast to enjoy the crunchy skin when the roast is ready. The primary ingredients in stuffing the roast are rosemary, sage, and oregano, fresh herbs. These are easily available in grocery stores today. Lots of garlic, fresh parsley, and Italian pancetta, also easily available from grocery stores everywhere. The process will call for deboning the pork roast and then stuffing it with this mixture that has been ground and processed in a food processor. See you shortly. Well, I've prepared the stuffing. That was the first step. It's the mixture of herbs and pancetta, salt and pepper. The next step, I'm going to debone the roast. And I'm going to begin by cutting it open. Be sure to use a sharp deboning knife. And as you can tell, I'm using my red cutting board, indicating that this cutting board was used to cut meat and will therefore be carefully washed when I'm finished to avoid and prevent contamination in the future. The deboning process is basically a matter of running the deboning knife as close as possible to the bone. Just working your way in and out around the bone, loosening the meat from the bone. And here's the bone right here, and I'm running the knife as close as possible to the bone, freeing the meat from the bone. It pays to have a very sharp knife so that you don't have to work very hard to separate the meat from the bone. And now we're beginning to see the bone, the leg bone. Here's the bone. Here's the deboned roast. Now you can throw this bone away or make soup with it. I'm going to cut some deep slits in the meat, which I will use for stuffing. There. Deboned roast with several deep cuts, and I'm going to now stuff it with the stuffing mixture. The pockets first. The roast has now been stuffed with the mixture, and the next step is to tie it and reassemble it. To do that, just simply roll it up and try to get it back into its original shape. Here it is, reassembled, almost as good as new, ready for tying. And I'm going to use string to tie it off with. The roast has been reassembled, it's been tied off, and it's ready for slow cooking on the grill. Well, it's been about 4 to 5 hours, and the porchetta has been roasting at 300 degrees, a slow heat. I've mounted on a spit, but the spit didn't turn. I simply used the spit to mount the roast skin side down. The roast is now ready. Look at this beautiful crispy skin. Isn't that gorgeous? The meat is perfectly done, and in the next step I'm going to slice it into serving pieces. Delicious!